Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Ummahpreneur podcast. I have with me a very special guest today that I'm excited to bring to you, where we're going to have an amazing discussion about really all facets of entrepreneurship. And my guest today is Brother Yavuz Selim. I hope I pronounced that well. Inshallah. Perfect. Awesome. And he is the founder and chairman of the Global Management Consulting Group, or specifically the Istanbul Consulting Group, which is a global management consulting group. They really help entrepreneurs go from really almost an idea to a fully built business. Whether you need help with the business idea specifically, with funding, with financing, with team building, they really support entrepreneurs in all stages, really build a successful business. And so today, I'm going to talk with Yavuz to really learn more about how he built Istanbul Consulting Group and the work he does with the entrepreneurs that he supports. Yavuz, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Abby. I'm so excited. I know I'm probably one of the first one from Turkey, so
Correct.
it's a special moment for me. I really appreciate. I'm one of your fans, and what you're doing is amazing over the last few years, and I'm watching your amazing work closely. So I truly appreciate your leadership in this area, and actually we have the same vision of supporting entrepreneurs globally. And as you beautifully summarized, my name is Yavuz Selim SILAY. I'm a physician entrepreneur and venture architect. I am a global executive. I lived 7 years in Germany. Half of my life is back and forth between the United States and Turkey. And it's really amazing to see different people coming up with amazing ideas. And you just don't want those ideas to die. And that's how we started as Istanbul Consulting Group. I came from United States as an assignment as a World Bank consultant to support the Turkish healthcare reform, because I have a pharmaceutical management background, and I've done an executive MBA at Washington Business School. So as a physician, I've seen that many physicians are even business ignorant. And that's the idea that Istanbul Consulting Group came and said, look, there are amazing healthcare entrepreneurs. They are physicians or nurses, but they just don't know the business side. It's not even ingrained within their education until they come to a certain level. And I've seen many physicians fail miserably because they just don't have the capabilities. And that's where we started to build the blocks of, how to actually become, and turn your ideas into global patented products. And with that, we built and started working national, international with research and development centers, with techno parks, and we worked with thousands of different entrepreneurs and helped hundreds of them get funded through our unique customized programs. It's really amazing to see, when an entrepreneur starts with an idea and just don't know where to start. And we handhold many of them through our acceleration and incubation programs and take them to the next stage, but just giving them the courage and, yes, you can do it. This is the business plan. This is the template you need to use. This is your marketing strategy. This is how you should build your team. But from that, how to scale your business. Many of the, ideas that come may be lifestyle choices, but we are teaching and educating our colleagues that, look, you need to scale up your business, because then you become a scale up, not just a startup. And scaling up is a new mindset of really taking your startup to the next stage. So at the core of all our operation, dear Abby, is we have Islamic finance, which is riba. We are totally against riba, and that's really at the core, because, clearly that is the biggest issue of the injustice around the world. Then you look at 7,000 people making money from 8 million people. So we need to find ways to change that by, you can call democratization of entrepreneurship and democratization of bringing also the opportunities to the masses. That's our, focus. But at the core, we have this, Islamic finance, but around it, we educate our startups and entrepreneurs with different sets of values. Many of them, they come, Abby, and say, hey, I have a great team, but I have a horrible idea, or I don't know what to do. So what we do is actually matchmaking, Abby. We take the best ideas with the best teams. And this is a new format that we have developed and nurtured over the years. And sometimes we give the right ideas to take it to the next stage, because that person they may be one of the best entrepreneurs, have the best set of skills, best personality to take the idea to a great product, but they just don't have the right idea. And there are other opportunities and programs we see really, amazing ideas, but unfortunately this person or the team is not fit to take it to the next stage. Maybe because of how they set up their startup. They say, hey, Abby and Yavuz, you're great, but let's just make 50-50. Well, that's not how it works. Many of the startups, if you have 50-50, one of them has to have a say to build a financial horizon. So we help them, look, if you want to take it to the next level, whether it's crowdfunding, angel investment, venture capital, are you in the right sector? Do you have the right intellectual property? Do you have the right legal framework? Are you a scalable startup or not? Do you have the right technology or the right manufacturing setup? And is your valuation really proper or not? And at the end, what is your business model? What's your revenue model? And most important thing is your team. Investors look at the teams and look at their eyes and say, yes, Abby can do this. And then they invest in Abby, especially, angel investors that we work with, and also many of the crowdfunding investors. So I don't want to tell too much, but I think this is initially why Istanbul Consulting Group has started in dealing with the entrepreneurs, because of the lack of many things that you need to really build together to make it a really successful journey over the years.
I have a question for you, and thank you so much for sharing a lot of information, because it really gives a nice, clear picture of what you're doing. With Istanbul Consulting Group, do you focus mainly on entrepreneurs within Turkey, or do you also help entrepreneurs around the world?
We work around the world. We have programs. For example, I'm a mentor at NIPCHIP in Austin, Texas. So we provide entrepreneurs around the globe, from the United States to Europe to, Gulf, different entrepreneurs. We also work with African entrepreneurs closely, because we are also the managing partner of the only TV channel, Turkish TV channel, broadcasting to 900 million viewers in 42 countries across Africa with TRT World. TRT World is like Al Jazeera, but it's the Turkish radio television with 15,000 employees. So we have the finance side with Fonkolay. Fonkolay is a Radyatırım Holding crowdfunding platform. Fonkolay means easy fund. So we made much easier for startups and really take finance out of the picture for them. With the new regulations in Turkey, the biggest issue in crowdfunding, Abby, is trust. And Turkey has done an amazing work at the governmental level, even though it started later compared to the United States and Europe in the, setting up venture capital funds. It has boomed over the few years. In 2015, the regulations for venture capital and private equity has passed in Turkey. Now we have hundreds of different, VC funds working actively. And also in 2019, just 4 years ago, a new, legal regulation has came in. And now with the Turkish Capital Market Board approval, we are able to set up, we have very rigorous criteria to set up a crowdfunding platform. We are in the process of finalizing, and you will see that just with initially last year, we had one crowdfunding platform performed with, given about 40 companies in Turkey, around, I would say $50 million. So you're able to see a booming growth. And these are small amounts, but they all come with the power of the crowd, which is the core of Islamic finance. We believe in really finding our own solutions for our own problems. The difference between dying and living is, if your solution comes within your Muslim community, it's a birth. If they put it on you, actually you're dying, you're breaking. So we need to go back to our values in Quran and Sunnah and really understand it, and then find the solutions. Many banks, they take so much leverage, and by using interest, they're actually crippling and hurting the entrepreneurs. But in crowdfunding platforms, Abby, we provide so much opportunity. It's very easy to get crowdfunding. It's, yes, it's not something new. Since 2000, we have crowdfunding platforms around the globe. But what is happening in Turkey is something brand new in terms of getting full government oversight and approval. And we match it with our VCs, our Angel Investor Network, and this creates a sudden opportunity of a path. So someone comes with an idea, with an MVP, started to sell, we give an amazing funding so they're able to take it and become a scale-up and then take it to even the stock exchange, whether it's Borsa Istanbul, London Stock Exchange, or NASDAQ. So, I'm really excited, as you can see, because we're giving accessible opportunities, great alternative to the traditional banking. It's less risky, and it's B2C. When you look at crowdfunding, you are creating your own marketers, you're creating your own brand ambassadors. So if Abby invests in Foncola as one of the projects, actually, he is also choosing that. He says, I'm partner of this project. So,
right.
And especially if you are an early adopter, crowdfunding is the best way. And it gives really a great opportunity for marketability and, consultation. You get feedback from your customer and a huge momentum for future partnerships. And people hear about you. So I just want to give you, there is a tide and huge, I would say, tide of excitement and success coming to build the story around crowdfunding platforms globally. Also in the Gulf region, also in Asia, but specifically in Turkey, because trust is the biggest reason of why many crowdfunding platforms are not successful. With the government's total, approval and oversight, we start immediately with full trust. That's a huge, opportunity that came in Turkey.
Can you actually share with me? I'm going to have to ask you to send me the link so I can share it in the episode notes, because I think that'd be really interesting. So let's say someone listening to this who's an entrepreneur. Now, is the crowdfunding limited to businesses that are specifically in Turkey, or is it also, as I mentioned, available to other people outside of the country at the moment?
It's actually, if you establish, let's say you are Ummahpreneur, and you, as an Ummahpreneur, you need to be either a manufacturing company or a technology company. The current regulation is only limited to manufacturing and technology. But if, let's say, Ummahpreneur comes up with a special technology, as financial technology, whether it's an agri-tech, blockchain technology, so any technology, and whether, regardless you're a US or UK company, if you establish a Turkish company, we can start fundraising immediately. It's a 2-month campaign. We can currently fundraise up to 45 million Turkish lira, which means more than $2 million. And you're opening to not 85 million Turkish population, but globally. And then we have also, halal options in terms of venture capital and, private equity, and taking it to the stock exchange, utilizing. And we definitely make sure, our crowdfunding platform does not support alcohol, gambling, any illegal activity. So, and at the VC level also, we have Sharia board, making sure all our investments are actually overseen by the Sharia board and making sure that we function properly. And we call it participation banking in Turkey. And, in many circles around the world, we may call it alternative or Islamic, but the Turkish population chose the word participation because we believe Islamic finance, as they say, it's not an alternative. That's the mainstream. So if we need to look into our paradigms. If we say Islamic finance as an alternative, then it means you're not the mainstream. We believe Islam is nature. It's your fitra. That's why we call participation finance or halal finance, because anything halal is within your fitra. And whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, if you want to focus on ethical investments, then actually we're providing that option. And I know many Christian friends, Jewish friends, they choose, participation options because of the reason you just don't want to make money out of someone else's misery. You really want to make sure what you're putting into investment and make money from is ethical. So in that sense, I don't want to limit what we're doing just for Muslims. It's for any ethical person who has a sense of justice. And that's why we shy from using the word Islamic finance in Turkey. We focus on participation solutions, participation banking, because that is becoming the mainstream now, including the different options that we are building. And maybe in another podcast, I can tell more.
Inshallah, definitely. Well, look, I'm curious actually for you, Yavuz, because you're the founder of Istanbul Consulting Group. So you clearly saw potential in Turkey and felt like, there needed to be some type of support system. Tell me, what inspired you to build this business and this initiative in the first place?
I saw a huge need, starting with myself. As I said, I'm a medical doctor. I had no business awareness until I had done an executive MBA at a top 10 executive MBA program in the United States, Washington University Business School. So that gave me an aha moment of, okay, you have a certain set of skills. You may be the top doctor in the world, but if you being a businessman is something different. But what if you combine and create a new trend? And that's why in the United States, we have Society of Physician Entrepreneur that I'm proud to be affiliated with. And I worked in the United States and established also with them the New Jersey chapter. And now I'm the president of the Turkey chapter of Society of Physician Entrepreneur. We have more than 50,000 physician entrepreneurs globally.
Mashallah.
So in Istanbul Consulting Group, what we have seen, regardless of the industry, I'm giving physician as an example, but regardless of you are a lawyer, you're a finance person, you're a technical guy, it's all about bringing the right solutions, the legal, the financial solutions, and the entrepreneurial spirit, the passion. It's like a beautiful food that you're making. If you don't put the right ingredients together, regardless you put it together, if you don't put your heart and your passion, it ends up something tasteless. So, many people, maybe even your mother, maybe if she cooks, you prefer that food because she puts her love into that food as well.
Correct.
So that's what we, strive for in Istanbul Consulting Group, and really understand the psychology of the entrepreneur. Understand if that person can work with another person over the next 5 years. We do also psychological review and say, okay, this team needs this type of personality. This team needs an IP professional. This team needs a financial professional. This team needs an A-type personality to do the best marketing globally. Or this team is too much centric to one nation. They are all American, but if they want to be global, they need to have an Indian, a Chinese, and African, a European to really make that company global. So we start with cultural diversity and see how we can actually help that business think globally and act locally. And we have customized programs for enhancing export to different countries. So we also work with small and medium enterprises. In Turkey, one of the interesting things what we have seen is, as Istanbul Consulting Group, there are many broken nations because of war, because of calamities, or because of different issues, instabilities. So Yıldız Technopark is #1 technology park in Istanbul. And we work closely with BINA incubator. BINA is also one of the important centers. And BINA has trained more than 500 Somalian startups. BINA has trained hundreds of Syrian startups. We have 5 million Syrian brothers and sisters in Turkey. And they went through calamities. And as Turkish nation, we welcome them with open arms. That's the reason Turkey has risen, because like Ansar and Muhajir, we welcome them and try our best to help them build themselves. And many of the, out of 1 or 2 of 40 startup companies in Turkey are Syrian entrepreneurs. We help them also, Syrian entrepreneurs, in their challenging life. It's not just about giving them a fish, but helping them to build the pond and how to fish in the pond. Not just also teaching the fish. They're working on how to build the pond and create the ecosystem for them. And we're using multicultural programs. We work with Pakistan, with Libya. BINA Incubator also has changed and impacted on Libya, Somalia, and now working with many, amazing brains, amazing, entrepreneurs. For example, in Palestine, in Palestine, do you know many of our Palestinian brothers, even though they're in under 1 million people under constant, occupation, they become the best, people in information technology, in creating solutions and making money. As soon as the internet comes, they do their best to create solutions for their customers in Europe or in Turkey or in other areas. We also work with Palestinian entrepreneurs to build them up. And, it's all about helping. We also help Ukrainian, whoever is oppressed, regardless of their religion or faith. We help them out. I call them broken nations, nations under the war. Because when war touches a child and kills a child, it doesn't choose its religion or faith or color. So in that sense, Turkey is uniquely positioned because of becoming almost a land of refugees and immigrants. But with a huge vision of Recep Tayyip Erdogan, we are able to actually support them despite all these limited, things that we have in our hands. Despite European Union promises to give X amount of euros that they don't give, we don't care. Allah will give barakah to this country if you feel that you're helping the less fortunate. 100%. And in that sense, we have also a responsibility of, supporting the less fortunate. And that's why, again, we just need to tap into the potential of every single person. Time is very limited. So it's so important to do bigger programs. I wish we can do a mass, program of reaching out to different entrepreneurs through Ummahpreneur together, inshallah, in the future. We have done, every year, I have done the 7th hackathon Ankara, and we had attendees from 28 countries around the globe just in December at Hilton Hotel. And it's a 3-hour program. It's open. You can check to YouTube. You can check the link here. So we are doing our best to generate solutions, and not just by word, but by, we're not just talking the talk, but trying to walk the walk with our opportunity that we have. And we are putting our investor hat. So I'm not asking anyone to just throw their money. I have a responsibility to my investors and responsibility to my startup companies or entrepreneurs. It's all about balancing that and creating a win-win solution. That's what Istanbul Consulting Group, phone call line is all about.
Amazing, mashallah. So tell me this, right now you are very much involved in the entrepreneurial landscape within Turkey and also around the world. What are you seeing right now in terms of kind of the changes in the entrepreneurial ecosystem within Turkey itself, right? How is entrepreneurship affecting Turkey? Are Turkish people in general, entrepreneurial in nature? Are they inclined towards building businesses? And what are the types of businesses that they're building? Are you seeing interesting innovations in different sectors? Are there specific sectors that are booming compared to others? If you can share that with me, I'm very curious.
Absolutely. At the governmental level, because Turkish presidential system has moved into an investment mind, there is Turkish President's Investment Office. They have set up an amazing vision for international investors as well as local investors, and investment has become very easy in Turkey. And and now people are investing from gold to different types of funds. But the biggest area they focus in Turkey is, gold, also housing, as well as stock exchange. There is about 2 million people, individual people, during the pandemic became part of Istanbul Stock Exchange. So Turkish people are still a traditional investment type of people. The biggest investment they feel in the long term is gold. That's why the majority invest in gold, and they physical gold they put in. So Turkish government worked on changing that mindset by digitalizing gold and while giving the government trust, the people started to actually look into different technologies. And now through crowdfunding platform, we are receiving amazing different areas of investment, from fintech to agritech to blockchain technologies, especially healthcare technologies is booming in terms of investment in Turkey. And when you look at it, you can see many companies that became unicorn. So Turkey has this vision of 10 turcorn or 10 unicorn by 2023, which is this year. And when you look at it, Turkey has already achieved, several turcorns. But Turkey set this up by saying, okay, we have a vision of 2023, and they started by just few startups, and then every day with that vision, now we have 8 $1 billion valuated startups in Turkey, and they become global in different areas. So, and the reason it became so successful is really the wide network of incubator and accelerator centers. In Turkey, Turkey has, one of the top incubator centers. For example, how to turn your information into a trade opportunity. There are centers like BTM, Bilgi Ticaretleşme Merkezi, which actually became by UBI Global one of the top incubator centers out of 700 incubator centers around the globe. So there are very different areas, from artificial intelligence, and I see that the turcorns are becoming so successful by exchanging, programs in Silicon Valley, in United Kingdom, in Europe, in Asia. So, Turkish people are maybe a little bit more focused in Turkey, but now the new youth has an open vision, and they think themselves also more globally. And I think that helped Turkey to break the mindset. And also, frankly speaking, in the defense area, with the Turkish drone technology, we see the new war concepts have changed. Now, why Azerbaijan won the war against Armenia was because of the drones, and the Russian tanks just didn't have any function during the war. So if you have the right drone technology, and Turkey is one of the top 3 drone technology driven companies globally, and Turkey is exporting these drones globally to several hundred countries, several, not 100, but maybe in the future 100. But now, I would say Bayraktar has become a flagship during the even Ukraine-Russia war. So we understand that, food security has become a huge issue, making sure, providing the right investment opportunities by building the infrastructure and giving the people not just hope, more than hope, giving them opportunity of self-fulfillment. If you look at Maslow's, fulfillment, at the end, you want to actually really make sure you're fulfilling and bringing what you want to bring to this world through your passion. And
correct.
I work with many people in Fonkolay, crowdfunding platform, in Istanbul Consulting Group, with NTR TV, that have that passion. I think we may have small teams, but we have big dreams, brother. So that helps us a lot. And every person we can touch, every technology part, every program we can touch, is not just about the money we make, but it's really the impact we make on people. We also are pushing on social entrepreneurship, because every startup should have also a social entrepreneurship strategy. I don't care what type of startup you are. If you are not building your own social entrepreneurship agenda, you're lacking. So you have to have a philosophy of why you are functioning. Yes, you may be finding the best solution for the biggest problem in the world, but what are you doing after that? That's why we work on our startups and making sure every startup is also supporting their communities, helping them, the people around themselves through different ways.
Amazing, mashallah. That's beautiful. And that's why I love entrepreneurship as a whole, because I feel like it really is the solution to so many of the world's problems, so many of the problems that we face in developing countries, and really so many of the problems that we face in our communities as well. One question that I would love to ask you, inshallah, to wrap up, because there's so much beautiful information that you've shared already, is, for you personally, what are you excited about, moving forward for the next 5 years within the entrepreneurial ecosystem, right? Whether it's in Turkey or elsewhere, is there a specific area that you're excited about, that you're focused on? Is there something specific that you are keeping your eye on, or maybe even a specific type of business that you're putting more attention on recently, that you feel like this type of business right now is booming, within these next 5 years, this is where the opportunity is? Can you share that?
We want to become the global #1 healthcare technology crowdfunding platform in the world. That's our vision.
Healthcare technology. Interesting. And why healthcare technology specifically?
Because, I want to use my technologies for people to live, practically speaking, not to kill them. So it's a philosophical choice. I see many technologies that people are worried about, and I make a conscious choice, maybe because of being a physician by heart. I may be biased, but at the end, I want to be on the side of helping people live. And there are amazing technologies. You can use the same technology for killing people or making them live. So I made the choice to help people live. It's just for my akhirah, for my hereafter as well. But I want to use, we have seen in COVID-19 how people have been affected. Many people, just with 1 gram of COVID-19, people are locked down, millions of people died. So, I believe there is so much to do in healthcare technologies globally. And I will, inshallah, build one of the top healthcare technology crowdfunding platforms. But it's an ecosystem with the VC fund, with Angel Investors Network globally, not just in Turkey. We have finished our experimenting in Turkey. I want to take that know-how, with the know-how I have already in the United States, globally to the emerging markets in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, in China. So the world is a global village now. And we just need to make sure we focus on our values, do what we say what we do. And at the end, people appreciate that you there to support and build them. At the end, we have an opportunity to raise funds for entrepreneurs, and using the masses, utilizing the masses, and make them also part of, through equity crowdfunding platforms, a partner of that successful vision. And, I'm not talking about the donation base. I'm not talking about the debt base. I'm not talking about reward-based crowdfunding. I'm talking about the share-based crowdfunding platform specifically. So, in the long term, it's like retirement account. In the long term, you are part of a startup. You're partner of a Microsoft or Google or Apple or Facebook. And even if you have been invested in Apple 20 years ago or Microsoft, it will be a different world for you and your family, Abby. So I'm working with today's Microsoft and Google's in our network, and visionary investors, and in healthcare technologies. That's what I'm passionate about, to help people live,
Inshallah, definitely. Okay. Well, is there one question that I didn't ask you that you would like to share or talk about? Is there a specific topic or something that you wanted to share with our listeners that I didn't ask you today on the episode that you'd like to share with us?
Well, all I would say is, if you are a startup, build your own team. I think you have asked all the questions. Make sure you focus on the right industry, the right intellectual property and patent strategy. Build your legal framework properly. Make sure you have a scalable business. Don't waste time on non-scalable businesses. Make sure you are focusing on a technology or a manufacturing solution, if possible, with a good brand strategy. Make sure you're building your valuation by applying to different types of patents, and really have a solid business model. It takes so much time to write a business plan. Don't start with a business plan. Start with a business model, and then reiterate, and then come to a business plan. Because with a business model, it's very easy to patch things up, and then seek people, find people that are part of your value in your team, but in a diverse mindset, and you will become one of the top gazelles or unicorn or one of the top, growing scale-up companies. And we are here ready from United States, from Washington, DC, from Brussels, and from Ankara, Turkey, to support you as Istanbul Consulting Group.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Yavuz, for such a beautiful episode and for all the information that you shared. And I'm really excited to see what you're going to do with your crowdfunding platform or with the Istanbul Consulting Group. Where can people go if they want to connect with you, if they want to sign up to be part of the incubator, if they want to learn more? Where should we tell them to go?
Well, they should go to IstanbulConsultingGroup.com, PhoneColli.com. These are the two websites, and they will be able to go and pick it up easily. And then also they can reach me directly through LinkedIn. We have a group of people managing my accounts. So if they Google just Yavuz Selim or Yavuz Selim SILAY and then connect me through LinkedIn, I have more than 30,000 followers. LinkedIn is the best way because I really focus on working with professionals. We just don't have enough time to waste. So we can pick the right people that we work with. So connect me through LinkedIn and just say, hey, Yavuz, this is my idea. This is my startup. Where do I start? And our team will be ready to support you.
Inshallah. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to hopefully having you again on the podcast as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. And I would love to host you, whether in New Jersey or in Europe or at Istanbul or Ankara, wherever you are, brother.
I might take you up on the Istanbul offer because I've been to Turkey before, actually. 2 years ago, we did a whole tour of Turkey, and it's such a beautiful country, mashallah. Like, absolutely breathtaking. Like, seriously.
Okay. Then we'll get Ummahpreneur program from Istanbul soon, inshallah.
Yes.
Your next Istanbul trip.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal, inshallah. Thank you so much, Yavuz. It was truly a pleasure to connect, brother. Thank you,
brother. Keep up the great work. We're proud of Ummahpreneur.
Thank you so much. And we are proud of you. Thank you so much, brother. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.